Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Aim Saraswate Namaha. Om Shri Gurue Namaha. Om. Blessed Self Adorations. प्यारे प्यारे भक्तजन, आप सबको अभिनंदन है। प्रेम भरा आशीर्वाद। आप सब परिवार सहित सुखी रहे, मंगलमय रहे, खुश रहे, अपना आध्यात्मिक जीवन को बढ़ाते रहे। May you all be successful on this spiritual path. Be happy with the entire family. May your blessings be received by your near and dear ones also. Our humble Sashtang pranams at the holy lotus feet of Pujya Gurudev, Pujya Shri Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji Maharaj of Yoga Research Foundation, Miami, Florida. To Pujya Param Gurudev, Pujya Shri Swami Sivananda Ji Maharaj of Rishikesh, India. To Jagat Guru Pujya Shri Adi Shankaracharya Ji, Sashtang pranams. And pranams to all saints and sages in the entire world. Today is day 20 of our Satsanga on the 4 gatekeepers at the Palace of Liberation by Pujya Gurudev. And we are on the 4th gatekeeper. The 4th gatekeeper is SatsangaGood association. And the topic today is the 3 knots of the heart. Maybe you never heard about it. ग्रंथीज, संस्कृत में बोलते हैं ग्रंथि, हमको खोलना है. There are so many knots that we tie in our life, and maybe it never gets opened, but we have to open it, let it loose. Otherwise we are stuck. We tie our own selves with those knots. So the last satsanga topic was a little bit long, and we had started off yesterday with the glory of satsanga, and there are many glories of satsanga. And we talked about sage Vasishta, who said that if you find someone who has achieved spiritual success, in whom raga, which means rag is attachment, in whom attachment has been destroyed, whose intellect is free of doubt, and who has united the knots of the heart, then you do not have to look anywhere else. That means you found your Guru. You have to trust in the Guru like you have to trust the pilot who would fly the plane that you are going to travel in, the bus driver, the train driver, and also the captain of the ship. So whichever, even your daily vehicle, if you are sitting with someone else, you want somebody who has the license, somebody who is trained, and somebody who drives well. Only then you can trust to sit in that vehicle. And you are trusting that the driver is knowledgeable and experienced also. So same way, the Guru, you have to trust. You have to know that the Guru is knowledgeable, the Guru is authentic, and will be able to guide you on the path that you have chosen to walk on, to follow through. So if you want to become a doctor in your worldly profession, then you will choose classes that will lead you to that profession. You cannot just learn accounting to become a doctor. You have to do biology, physics, these kind of sciences. And then you cannot choose a math. Yeah, math would be okay. You cannot choose an accounting teacher to teach you science. Similarly, if your path, if your destiny in spiritual life, that you want to progress towards liberation, you would not want a guru who would teach you only Karam Kand. You want to do beyond that. You want to have a guru who would guide you on how to rise above that also, who can teach you the soul search, who can teach you how to do japa. So all these things matter, but everything lies on your wish, on what you want to do. There are many who say, I want to be born again. That means your path is not about liberation. And you will take actions and you will do certain things that will be good, but yet you want to come back. But those who say, I want to be liberated, then you have to walk on that path. So just like if you want to fly to another country, then there are many routes. Or within your country, you want to go to another city. Sometimes there is only one freeway or only one way, but normally there are other ways. There are different roads that you can take to reach there. But everyone wants the best. But again, the best means, do you want to take the road that will give you lots of scenic views even though it might take longer? Or do you want to reach there fast and you don't care about the scenic views? So those are the decisions that you have to make, what you want. And God is one. It does not matter who is your Isht. Every name you take reaches that same one and only one Brahman. So do not get confused in your life that I took Rama's name, I didn't take Krishna, or my Rama is better than Krishna, or my Shiva is better than Narayana. No, it's just that same Brahman assumes different roles. Just like you, if you are a female, if you are a mother, you are the one person, but you assume the role of a wife, a daughter, a sister, a mother, a sister-in-law, so many, your grandmother also. But one might think there are many of these persons, different person. But no, that same one person would have different relationships with different people. So same way that many embodiments in different roles, different names, different forms, but God is one, assuming just assuming different embodiments. came on earth at different times for different objectives, but mainly to show us the dharma, righteousness, what we should be doing, what is the best to do at that certain point in time. That becomes your dharma. Like if your child is hungry and crying, and you are continuously wanting to do your prayers, so your dharma is to feed your child first. So that is why we say you can do your action, you can continue to do your duty, and yet keep on doing japa mentally. Keep on thinking of God while you are doing your duty. So both gets done. And do not worry that I could not sit and do my puja. Same thing applies to fathers. They have to go do the job. They cannot say, I will do puja for the whole day and I don't want to go to work. So, well, it's just a simple examples. Nowadays, mothers work also, fathers work also. So, it's sharing and caring and giving opportunity to each other, time to each other to do their spiritual sadhana also. So, let's move on to the topic of today, which is the 3 knots of the heart. Day 20. There are 3 granthis or knots of the heart. The first of which is called avidya. Avidya is ignorance. Due to ignorance, you are chained to your causal body. Remember physical body? What you see, your flesh and bone. Again, this physical body is temporary, because when it took birth and it will die one day. And due to ignorance, you are chained to your causal body. So after the physical body, there is astral body. That's the mind, which is called chitta also. And the mind, intellect, ego, senses, all these are your astral body. You don't see them, but it's there. Because of your senses, because of your mind, you are able to see, hear, taste, feel. So the 5 senses. So a knot has been created between you and your causal body. Causal is the 3rd layer. In Hindi we say Karan Sharir. Karan Sharir is the reason you took this embodiment. So the first one is the causal body, like the highest. And then in between, we'll talk about that. The next is called Kama. Kama is desire. So desire is the 2nd knot. Where there is ignorance, there is desire. Ignorance implies a sense of individuality. I am this, you are that. I am this body, and God is somewhere else, abiding in the sky or in another world, another planet. As an individual, as a fictitious I, you are imperfect and don't know how to become perfect. You turn to the world to enrich you, to perfect the inherently ephemeral I, thus led to ignorance. You feel you would be perfect if only you had a lot of wealth. Another time you feel that power, or both wealth and power together, would make you perfect. Later you decide fame or intellectual attainment is the answer. That being a literary giant or a great scientist would be perfect you. So these are grandiose aspirations. But remember that the little things of life can also be powerful temptations. A little property or a little jewelry, day by day, swarming mosquitoes of desire haunt the mind. When you fulfill one desire, another arises because you have not treated the source, which is the ignorance. Once ignorance is destroyed, however, you have the realization of being one with God, absolute perfection. All desires terminate with that realization. So, all desires terminate with that realization. In the absence of that realization, no lasting satisfaction is possible. You are tied to your astral body by the ropes of your desire. So ignorance, avidya, and then kama, which is desire. So first is ignorance, first note, second note is kama, desire. So your kama granthi is the second note of the heart, which is desire. And it ties up your astral body because you are fulfilling your senses. The astral body is the senses. If desires continue to propagate in the swamp of ignorance, you continue working towards fulfillment and in the process create good and bad karmas. So that is what happens. You want this, you want that, so you continue to work one job, two job, and you continue to not do better actions or do some karma yoga because you are trying to collect money for fulfilling some desire. So these are like small examples that the knot is so much tied that you are unable to untie that knot because of your desire for worldly stuff that's going to be left behind when you die. So these karmas bring about the further embodiments. So that they create because of those desires you create bad and good karmas. But these karmas bring about further embodiments. You keep taking births because your desires were not fulfilled. Now you have more desires. So you have to take another embodiment to fulfill that desire. So keeping you tied to your physical body, which is karma granthi. So avidya, which is ignorance, then kama, which is desire, and then karma granthi brings you further back into numerous embodiments. Take birth, live, fulfill your desires continuously, unending, and then die, and then be born again to fulfill those unfulfilled desires again, until you realize that and you get out of the birth and death cycle. So thus you are tied to your physical body by karma, to your astral body by kama or desire, and to your causal body by avidya, ignorance. So what happens is, because of ignorance, the other two knots are forever there, never ending, because you don't know. But the moment that vidya, the knowledge, sprouts, then you realize, and then you start reacting, and you will be able to cut off your desires, and hence the karma will be all good karmas rather than bad karmas, which means you do not use your finances for donations, for good work, to help others because you are so busy, things like that. However, if you remove avidya through satsanga, but if you end up in satsanga, you learn, like now you are hearing, you are learning through satsanga these three knots and what leads to another. So once you have the knowledge, then you'll start working on those knots to untie those knots. So however, if you remove avidya or ignorance through satsanga, automatically the other fetters disappear. So then you will be able to untie the knots. The next topic is the eternal diamond. So throughout the spiritual literature of India, satsang has been given the greatest importance. Tulsidas ji, who is Tulsidas? So Tulsidas ji is the one who made or rewrote Ramayana and made it easy, because the Ramayana of Valmiki ji was very hard to understand. It was in total Sanskrit, whereas Tulsidas ji, it is said that only Valmiki ji took another birth to make it easy. So he used Awadhi language, like simple Hindi, and that is why we are all able to understand Ramayan ji. So Tulsidas ji says, if you were to put all the happiness of heaven and earth on one side of a scale and then bundle the happiness from satsanga on the other side, the joy of satsanga would far outweigh all the happiness of heaven and earth. The first bundle is bulky, yet insubstantial like cotton. Satsanga, on the other hand, is like a diamond, dense, strong, and eternal. What a beautiful comparison. He said, cotton is so fluffy and light, and yet it appears so huge. Like you hear so many people say swollen head. That means it's just the pride which is looking so big, that person. People normally say that. Whereas the fruit-laden tree, or a person who has a lot of knowledge, is more simple and down on the ground. like the fruit-laden tree comes downwards to reach out to those who want to get it. Make it easier for those who want to get it. So let us all listen to satsanga, attend satsanga, do satsanga with scriptures. Get the knowledge. Half knowledge is dangerous. So get the good knowledge, contemplate on it, meditate on it, and apply in your lives. May you all be successful in your spiritual life. Hari Om Tat Sat. Divine blessings, love, light, healing, bliss, peace, prosperity to each one of you and your near and dear ones. Let's pray for every being, for their protection, healing, happiness, success. Sarvesham svastirбhavatu, sarvesham shantirbhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Trayambakam yajamahe, sugandhim pushti vardhanam, urvarukamiv bandhanan, mrityor mokshye mamritat. Om astu ma sadagamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma amritam gamaya. Narayan, Narayan, Bhajamana Narayan. Murali Sham, Mohan Sham, Murali Mohan Sham. Mere Ram, He Ghan Sham, Sai Sadguru Naam. Narayana, Narayan, Shriman Narayana. Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This is Swami Lalita Priyananda, Sacramento, California. Divine blessings, love, light, healing, bliss, prosperity to each one of you and your near and dear ones. Hari Om Tat Sat.